Hey everyone, this is Rectify. Thanks for joining us for part 2 of the video. If you missed part 1, we went over the class card for the Blackrock Mountain expansion pack there. In this video here, part 2, we'll actually be going over some neutral cards. Due to time constraints though, with the game releasing the first wing tomorrow, we'll only be going over the legendaries in this video, and if I do end up having time, I'll go ahead and make a video for the commons and the rares for the expansion pack as well. So without wasting too much of your time here, let's go ahead and get started and take a look at those legendaries. First up on our list today is Rend Blackhand. Unfortunately, in this expansion, they made Rend Blackhand a pretty bad card. He's more or less a very weak version of a big game hunter. 7 mana, you get an 8/4 monster in the field, and even to activate his effect to destroy only a legendary monster, you have to have a dragon in your hand. That means he can only be played in a dragon synergy type deck, but in those scenarios, if you are dealing with a threat that's bigger than a 7 damage mob, you want big game hunter, and it doesn't have to be a legendary itself. You can kill an epic, you can kill a rare, you can kill a monster that got buffed. Unfortunately, you won't see Rend Blackhand too much in any decks, probably in none at all after people have their fun testing him out with the expansion, which is a shame because he was a really cool character in World of Warcraft. Moving on to the next card, we'll go ahead and take a look at Majordomo Executus. Now, just like Rend Blackhand, Majordomo Executus actually isn't that great of a card. He's a 9 mana, 9/7. There are way better choices in the game than Majordomo Executus currently, and there's definitely better choices in the expansion as well. Fortunately for Majordomo Executus though, I'm pretty sure that Blizzard added him into the game as a flavor card, and they had meant that from the very beginning. So unlike Rend Blackhand, we'll probably at least get to see some arena play because he is really cool. Majordomo Executus is actually the general of Ragnaros the Firelord. If you can read his death rattle here, replace your hero with Ragnaros the Firelord, that's actually pretty much the same effect that he had in Molten Core in World of Warcraft. Once you killed Majordomo Executus in Molten Core, he actually summoned Ragnaros, and that's when Ragnaros would appear for you to fight with your raid party. So, as much as it sucks that he won't see any competitive play, at least he is actually a really cool flavor card. He has a cool effect once your hero is replaced with Ragnaros. He will have a new hero ability to shoot that 8 damage effect to a random target, possibly Swagnarosing your opponent's face, and again, he is just a really cool card in general. Moving on to the next card though, we do have a card, probably the best in the expansion, that will be used in most decks, Emperor Thaurissan. In my opinion, Thaurissan is probably going to get the most play out of any card in this expansion pack here. He's easily the best card that I can tell that can easily fit into any deck. His effect is pretty much well rounded to fit inside of any deck regardless of any dragon synergy, regardless of any hero classes. At the end of your turn, the mana cost of each card in your hand is reduced by 1. This effect does stack as confirmed by Blizzard. This pretty much gives you an immediate effect actually. The very first turn you play it, whether that be turn 6 or any other time, if you have a coin or innervate, it does reduce it, and it keeps reducing the amount of mana that each card costs on an end turn basis. Now this goes really well in decks like Ramp Druid, of course, if you can keep him alive, or if you can innervate him and coin him out very early on a turn 3 or so, turn 2, turn 3. It just fits into any kind of deck. It's really hard to see a deck that doesn't need mana reduction in the hand. I guess in a Zoolock deck, in a Face Hunter, you wouldn't necessarily need it. It wouldn't hurt you though. It could set you up for mana reduction to spam. Again, you do probably have better choices for those types of decks, but this card definitely isn't ever a really bad choice. It'll fit in constructed play very often, and you'll definitely see it in arena as well. Emperor Thaurissan probably will be the defining legendary in this expansion, much like Dr. Boom was in the last one. That'll take us into the 4th of the 5th legendaries here in this expansion, Chrome Magus. Chrome Magus on his own looks like he would be a great card. Whenever you draw a card, you can put another copy of that card into your hand. This counts regular draws on a per turn basis. This counts cards like Arcane Intellect, where you draw cards from your deck, you'd put copies of those cards into your hand, and it also counts for the Warlock's hero ability. Looking at it though, being 8 mana, so high to get that effect on the field. For a 6/8, not the best stats. The 8 health is great. The 6 attack, not too amazing, but just getting this out there in time to make it useful, I really can only see this maybe being useful in a deck where you can get the card out early, like in a Ramp Druid deck with all the mana buffs from Innervate and Wild Growth, or maybe if you get lucky from a Dragon Consort from the Paladin deck to get this out on turn 6 after the turn 5 Dragon Consort play. That's really the only two situations where this might be useful, but then again, it's easily killed. It's a 6/8. It's not like it's immune to magic. You do have polymorphs, you do have hexes, you do have executes, so overall I don't think that Cro-Magus will get much play, unfortunately, but this does take us to our last legendary, which I do think could get some decent play, especially in Arena, Nefarian. Now, Nefarian can definitely be one of the better cards in this expansion. He's probably the second best legendary after Emperor Thorson. Nefarian's effect, the battle cry that adds 2 random spells from your opponent's class to your hand. It does add spells from your opponent's entire library of class spells, not just the ones that are in their deck, which is still really good here. For the 9 mana, you get the 8/8 monster on the field. The battle cry gives you the cards up front, unlike Ysera, where you get the cards on end of turn basis. And yes, Ysera, you can get more than 2 cards, but again, these are up front, and that could be the difference between winning and losing a really close game. So, Nefarian, the main dragon here in my opinion of this expansion, the main card, probably theme-wise as well, but I'm really excited for this expansion either way, and I hope you are too. Feel free to leave your comments below, say if you agree or disagree with my comments, and feel free to let me know what you think is going to be the defining moments in this expansion as well. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe. I'll be continuing to release videos as the wings are unlocked throughout the game as well. I'll be climbing the ladder. Feel free to join me on that on Twitch TV. Happy wrecking.